Jeff Crow. Jeff, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back, Bart.
Yeah, it's Jeff's second appearance on the show. So you get invited back 'cause the first one went okay.
Yeah, no, first one, fine.
Nice job.
Yeah, thank you.
So we've been seeing it, and anyone that's been out in the car can see that it's just construction. It's insane. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's right in the start of the season. And the kicker is we got a lot of projects kicking off in June and July too as well. So a lot of work to talk about, and happy to be here to discuss it.
Yeah, so we've got City of Jackson work, but there's work going on. You know, the county's doing work, the townships, plus the state of Michigan, MDOT. So you add it all up, take a few minutes to get where you're going extra. Let's start with one of the big projects. It's so big, it's going to take, I think, 2 years.
That's right.
The MLK corridor.
Yeah.
And you've started on that.
Well, yeah, so Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, what we got going on is it's a major street reconstruction project. And you're right, Bart, it's a 2-phase effort to construct this road in 2 years. Ideally, we can reconstruct all the way from South Street 1 mile north to Morrell Street. And phase 1 just kicked off last week from High Street to Morrell Street. And yes, it just kicked off last week, but the contractor has had great weather to proceed, and they've been getting quite a lot of work done. They removed the pavement on the northbound lane, that's the west side there, all throughout the entire stretch of High Street to Morrell Street. And right now they have 2 crews working simultaneously to install the water distribution main pipe. They have 1 crew working north on Morrell Street, working south, I should say, and then they have a crew on High Street working north. And hopefully within about a week or so, they're going to meet and they're going to connect their parts of water distribution main pipe together. Granted, right before they do that, they're going to pressure test the pipes to make sure it is free of leaks. They're going to flush it, disinfect it, sample it, and test it to ensure it's free of harmful bacteria. Once all that passes, they're going to connect the pieces together. But that's just one piece of this puzzle that we got going on. It's a water transmission main replacement project. It's a storm sewer replacement. It's sanitary sewer replacement. We're adding a 10-foot path on the west side of MLK Junior Drive. We're adding new street lighting. We're adding new trees. We're reconfiguring the street too as well. And instead of the 3-lane with 1 parking lane that we're used to, we're transitioning that to a 2-lane with parking lanes in both sides of the street. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it just a little bit safer for folks to get north and south, as well as just make it aesthetically pleasing while maintaining the level of service that we have today.
So when they connected the railroad, the Great Union and Pacific, they built from the east to the west, and they were supposed to meet in the middle. They didn't quite meet.
Oh.
Is your water main, are you sure it's going to meet?
Oh, we have a great team of engineers that design it accordingly. I cross my fingers, but we'll make it work.
And this will be a road diet as well.
Yes. Yep. We're going to maintain the level of service while keeping the typical 25 mile per hour speed limit going north and south. But overall, it's going to make it a little safer so folks know to drive safely throughout.
And I think right now one way is open, right?
Yes. We have the northbound lane open so local traffic can get to their driveways. And that's why we kept the pavement on the northbound lane so there's something smooth to drive on.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the parking because a lot of residents do park on that street.
Yeah, there's some businesses there too, so we got to accommodate the businesses to make sure we're not affecting them in any nature.
So it's going to be striking once it's done. If you don't show up until it's all done, you're going to be amazed, right?
That's correct. It's going to be a night and day mentality. Google Street Maps may not pick it up right away. So you'll see a completely different street, which coincides with our complete street mentality. When we design these streets, we design them not for the cars, for the cars, of course, but for the pedestrians and bicyclists too.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing that. You know, in Hillsdale, I was reading the Hillsdale Collegian newspaper last week, and they're running. There's people running for mayor, and just about all the candidates, they're against bike lanes and they're against the road diet. So I think we're lucky that we have some forward thinking planners and engineers keeping everyone in mind using the roads.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's talk about Pearl Street, because that is connected to the MDOT construction of the bridge.
Yeah, those work zones are starting to merge together. So this project, the Pearl Loop Transmission Main Replacement Project, this kicked off back in March, and right now we have about a 6-block closure all the way from Columbus Street on Pearl Street, from Columbus to the west, moving all the way to Waterloo Avenue to the east. That's what the city is involved with, and right now we're replacing water distribution main pipe. And the reason for that is when we close down a road, we want to tackle all of the aging infrastructure at the same time, so we don't have to go back again a year later, close down the road for some other distribution or sanitary sewer. A lot of this is old, antiquated cast iron transmission main pipe. And the reality is we have about 170 miles of pipe network in our distribution system, and half of it is about 100 years old. So as we do these interviews going for the years and beyond, that's going to be quite the big subject of replacing water transmission main and water distribution main pipe throughout the city of Jackson.
What are these pipes made out of that you're replacing?
Yeah, so we're replacing these old cast iron pipes, which are a little more rigid. We're replacing those with ductile iron. It has a little bit more flexibility. The material itself is much more resistant to corrosion than the cast iron counterpart. It's a little more expensive, but we're forward thinking, so we don't have to come back for another 100 years and do the same thing that we're doing right now.
So is it metal or plastic or composite? What,
Well, it is iron. It's just a different formulation of iron in regards to the chemistry approach, but it's still relatively material-wise pretty similar. It's just how they heat up the pipe and conform it.
And will it carry more water? Are they bigger?
We do have some sections will be replaced from a 16-inch to a 20-inch, but the size isn't really the issue here. If you look at the historical population of Jackson, we served quite a lot more than we do today. So a lot of our pipes are oversized. So it's not a size issue, it's just a more reliability issue.
And it's a very complicated process because the water main replacement could take until mid-July.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so what the MDOT, the Michigan Department of Transportation folks, they're actually helping us out by replacing the water transmission main associated with the Cooper Street Bridge replacement project. And that's why you see a lot of orange cones and a lot of detours, because right now our work zones are merging on Michigan Ave and the Cooper Street intersection.
Yeah, very busy business district under construction. Let's talk about a couple neighborhoods. Let's head over to Virginia Street. What's happening there?
Yeah, so Virginia Street, this is part of a bigger package here. And if I'm looking at it correctly, this might be Woodward Avenue, but I could be mistaken. But nonetheless, both are very similar to each other because they're a part of the same package. It's a water distribution main replacement package across 13 blocks, across 10 different streets. And yes, you are correct, this is Virginia Street. And so what we're doing is we're replacing the 4-inch century-old cast iron pipe here. It's 4 inches, it's undersized, both for water pressure quality as well as fire flow for safety too as well. Here we're using directional drilling techniques to install the water main pipe. We choose these directional drilling techniques because it's much less invasive.
It's like fracking.
In a way, but what I like is there's not nearly as much dust as your excavation operations from typical water main installations. So if you can do it, it actually gets the job done much faster because simply it's just less invasive and less noise and dust.
And that blue material, that's the metal?
Yes,
The
but
pipes?
yes, I think we're also replacing some sanitary sewer too as well, which is more of a PVC. So sometimes that turn is blue too as well. So yeah, so that's what we got going on here. But we should have this road wrapped up here in about a few weeks. Right now we have most of the water main installed, but when we do this, we also want to replace the service lines that connect from the water main in the street all the way to the water meter in the basement, and for all the services that are made out of lead material. It's one of our goals in the city of Jackson to replace all of the lead service lines. It's not just a goal, it's a mandate by the state of Michigan to get those out in a reasonable time frame. So we do it now so we don't have to come back and do it again.
Yeah, your contractor's already been in touch with us here at JTV because our building is on that list.
Okay, well, let's get your lead line out of there.
Yeah, are they here right now?
They're here.
They're here right now?
Oh, okay.
Well, they're coming soon.
Sure.
All right, now let's go to Woodward. That's another neighborhood, but it's
Yep.
tied into the Virginia Street.
Yep, it's just part of this bigger package here. We're actually a little further ahead on this one. Due to site constraints and existing utilities in the way, we did have to just strictly use excavation operations to install this water main pipe. But we try to be as less invasive as we can. We try to focus on only disturbing one part of the street so folks can get to their driveways and not have a full closure construction zone. But overall, right now, most of the water main is in place and we have the service lines ongoing to each home here, and that's what you see in that picture there as they try to dig up over here. And you can also see a resident watching them too, because it is quite interesting, the process and construction that goes on here.
Oh, is this over by Jackson High?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep, it's just right near that football field there too. So yes.
She's concerned you're digging up her hostas.
Well, digging around the hostas, of course, which is a valid concern. And we do take the landscaping quite seriously. We don't want to disturb any existing landscaping. The idea is as least disturbance, less invasive as possible to get the job done in a timely manner.
And I think we've got some other things going on that maybe just by coincidence are disruptive near where you're working. In downtown we've got, looks like some utility workers on Cortlandt Street digging up.
Yeah, yep, that's just a separate independent just for cable underground utility communications projects too. So not necessarily a water main, heavy infrastructure going on there, but you're right, there's a lot of orange cones, a lot of construction zones going on for May, and it's really going to double up come June and July. So.
Well, we want good, safe infrastructure, nice streets, so a little bit of inconvenience, well, it's unavoidable.
Yeah, but we do what we can.
Great. It'll be nice when it's done.
Yes, it will.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Bart.
Jeff Crow, Assistant City Engineer, City of Jackson, with our look at May projects.